Hello and welcome to the post-Super Bowl edition of After the Whistle.
I got a tissue.
Kyle, I don't think I can do the opening.
I got a tissue for you.
I think you're gonna have to do the opening.
I had to bring a tissue for Brian. As you can see, I came dressed for the occasion. I'm in all black because it definitely felt like a funeral last night. That game was very, very interesting. I don't know why Brian didn't come dressed the part. He should have just been in all black too.
I didn't even have time to think about it.
This is a morning.
I've just been in a fog. This is an absolute regional depression, I think, has gone over New England right now. It's terrible.
Yeah, and before we get into it, there's a lot of blame to go around. There's everybody on that team could get a piece, but oh my goodness.
I think we have to start with the obvious big story. Why the heck Malcolm Butler was on one special team snap all game? One. He's been there. He's their best tackling cornerback, and we were like missing tackles, not wrapping up all game. I mean, that's what you needed.
Guys are running free in the secondary. You have third string defensive backs in there trying to cover their second best defensive backs, and second best wide receivers. It was just, the whole game was just a nightmare. Coaching staff, they completely got outcoached. Some of the decisions that were made in that game were, whew. I mean, Tom Brady, he was trying to save the team. If I were to tell you, if you didn't watch the game and I were to tell you a quarterback threw for 500 yards and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, you would think they would, you'd assume they won the game.
Absolutely.
But the defense, goodness gracious.
It was a defensive optional game on both sides.
Yeah, it was.
Somebody said it was like watching a Big 12 Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. Yeah, that's like what
pretty
it was.
Much what it, yeah.
We can't really fault our offense.
No, you can't. We could fault some of the decisions that were made. Yeah, some of the play calls that were made on the offensive side that played a factor in this. But the defense, goodness gracious, you're up one, at least get one stop.
Johnson Banamosi. Why was he in over Malcolm Butler? But Belichick says, "Oh, it was part of the game plan. That was how we were best suited to win." How can you take a special teams cornerback and say that he's better over a guy who was the hero of the Super Bowl against the Seahawks?
Yeah.
He's an all-pro. He's going to be one of the hottest free agent defensive players. Like,
yeah.
What was the game plan? That's what I want to know.
And also,
Bill, what was the game plan?
Well, he's saying it's the best decision for the team. It's part of the game plan. Why is he finding out right after the national anthem he's not starting? You changed the game. The game plan changed all of a sudden after the national anthem. You're going to tell him he's not playing? Nobody knows what happens, and of course with Belichick, he's not really giving details of what happened. It's not like Malcolm Butler pulled a Eugene Robinson and solicited a prostitute right the night before the Super Bowl or something like that.
I mean, he's a great guy. He's never been in any trouble or anything like that. There has to be more to the story.
And if it was if it was some issue like maybe he missed curfew, which would still be a dumb reason, maybe you bench him for a little. If he missed curfew or something like that, I'm pretty sure it would have made waves. Because Mike Reese, who covers the Patriots, he's usually good on things like that. He's always on top of things like that, and he even didn't have a clue. So,
or even if maybe Belichick was like in this weird fog, trying to get creative, like, okay, maybe like going into it, he's thinking, let's start Eric Rowe. This is better for the game plan. After you watch the game progress. And you see Rowe got burned by Jeffrey very early on, and then he's getting burned the rest of the time. Yeah. Maybe then you switch the game plan, and then you put Butler in it. But no.
He was being very egotistical. Whatever. But his coaching, he looked like the rookie coach in this game.
Yeah, he did.
He looked like this was his first time in the Super Bowl, and it made no sense. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start with the defense. How about for not generating a sack the entire game?
We got dominated at the line of scrimmage.
No pressure at all. They did not get to the quarterback. Nick Foles could have had a barbecue in the back there. The way, as long as he took to get the ball out, it was just like. It was like 7-on-7, slim pickings for him. He's like, "Oh, you open." It's like, well, who do I choose? Everybody's open, and no pressure. It's like.
It's been that way all season for us, though. I mean, we really haven't been able to generate. I mean, the person who's generating the most pressure was the 39-year-old guy that we picked up, 6 weeks ago, James Harrison.
Yeah.
We had nobody else doing pressure. They controlled us at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
all day. And but that's just been the story. We haven't had a pass rush. And we didn't, and that's right. I mean, Nick Foles could have been flipping burgers. I like the barbecue thing, by the way. Did you come up with that? I'm going to use that again.
I just thought
you could have had a barbecue back there. I like that. A fresh little skillet, maybe make some fajitas, too.
Oh, man.
He
could have fed a whole family. He could have fed a few families.
But it was tough to watch us get picked apart by a backup quarterback,
it was,
Nick Foles. What are we showing right here?
That was the Hail Mary.
That was the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
And Gronkowski was... clearly, there was pass interference, but you really don't call it on those plays unless they pull the guy down.
Yeah, unless it's completely obvious. But it was that it just sums up the Patriots reverted back to Week 1. Remember Week 1? How Kansas City just completely moved up and down the field, did whatever they want.
Oh, we got to talk about the Cook's jump. Though.
You could go ahead on that one.
That was just. Well, I mean, I really don't even know what to start. That was even worse, though.
He fell asleep. He's still sleeping.
He's running circles. It's like he's on a punt return, and he thinks everybody's like in front of him.
He went to bed.
You're not a punt return. This guy's coming from behind you, from the side. He just got totally blindsided.
Yeah, it was.
What else? What other clips do you have here?
That Gronk touchdown.
Gronk,
he played the first half. They shut him down. There was some plays. He had a chance, but he didn't make it in the first half. They shut him down. And that goal line, when they got to the red zone, I think it was like a third down, and Brady forced the ball to him. He was double coverage. That was a bad decision by Brady.
Yeah.
If you watch that replay, you see Cooks was wide open underneath. He could have scored on that as wide open he was. Brady forced that one. And the 3rd and 2, you're in the goal. You're in the red zone. It's 3rd and 2, and you run a jet sweep, and you're trying to hurdle over a guy who's standing still, who's standing straight up.
Make a cut. Make one cut.
Make a move.
One of the fastest guys on the field.
Or
put your shoulder down.
Do something. Don't try to jump over the guy. I don't know why some of these NFL players keep thinking they could just jump over.
He was playing nervous. I could tell. He was playing nervous. He's been nervous.
Then he went to bed.
Nobody's really talking about how big of a loss that is that he didn't come back in the game. I mean, he's always one of those guys, whether he's catching passes or not. You got to count for him on defense going deep downfield.
Yeah, and another thing that was very, very surprising, they put Malcolm Jenkins on James White.
Yes, right.
That was something that I wasn't expecting.
I was expecting him to be on Gronk.
Yeah, and he did a good job covering James White in the backfield. James White only had 2 catches out of the backfield.
Yeah, but James White, he still ended up with like 2 touchdowns, I think, or something. He's Mr. Postseason.
Yeah, he is. He was doing his thing, but I think that ball. I didn't see a lot of Deion Lewis in the passing game. Did you?
No, not really.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's like the Patriots got cute.
I mean, offensive wise. I think we executed enough. I mean, Philly didn't show up defense either. No, you know what I mean? We had big plays. Brady threw over 500 yards.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the offense, and I don't think we only gave up 1 sack.
Yeah, which was the costly sack.
A very costly sack. But you mentioned 3rd down. I want to talk of 3rd down. We've talked about this, you and I, and we haven't even done this show that much. Patriots cannot get off the field on 3rd down. It's been that way all season.
The entire season.
Why?
And this was,
Why?
I have no idea.
I don't know why either.
And this was the concern I had for the Jacksonville game.
Yeah.
Everything I said that I was concerned about in the Jacksonville game didn't happen. It happened this game.
Yeah.
3rd down defense was horrible. 3rd and 12 in the first drive. Torrey Smith gets a 1st down. Then there was a third down and like 8 in the red zone, and what was his name? Clemens. He gets the touchdown. I don't know what this.
He had a big game.
Yeah, he had a big.
Those over 100 yards receiving.
Those wheel routes were killing him. They never adjusted to that. And his touchdown, the safety decides to cheat, and.
Your mind just got blown on defense.
Yeah, and the 4th down, they were 2 for 2 on 4th down as well. So, and the Patriots.
One of them was a touchdown on 4th down.
Yes.
A throw to Nick Foles.
Yes.
And they're going to be playing that for. I can't watch ESPN.
They're going to be playing that, and they're going to be playing Tom Brady with his butterfinger hands. I don't understand why you're throwing it. Just have the quarterback throw the ball. Don't have him try to catch it. That was another play. The Patriots, on 4th and 5, they want to go for it, and they want to go for a deep ball to Gronk down the sideline. He's double covered. Then on the 4th and 2, they want to kick in the red zone. They want to kick the field goal.
No, I know. I do kind of disagree on the Brady catch play. It was well designed, but then you have to realize you have Tom Brady. Like if you had a more athletic quarterback, that was like a perfectly designed play. But you have like Gumby out there who just
they look
barely
like
moves around.
I've said this before. Like Brady, sometimes he looked like he smoked before the game or something.
Yeah, I
like
don't know.
that's the slow. Once again,
motion.
a slow start.
Yeah, very slow start.
A slow start in another Super Bowl, and they were just. They weren't capitalizing on anything. There was one punt the whole game.
One punt the whole game.
This was the first time the Patriots lost the game without, and they didn't punt it.
So one thing that this game was good for is if you're not a Patriots fan or like you're a fan of other teams.
Oh, the trolls are coming. The trolls are.
But this was a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, it was.
Everybody likes to see offense. Nobody likes to see good defense.
This is good.
So this was a good Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially for the people who don't really watch football all the time. Maybe they watch just one game a season. It was an exciting game.
Yeah.
Lots of points. That's what you want to see. But when you're a Patriots fan and you've been watching the defense all year and you know the scheme that works and you know that Malcolm Butler's there and he's been part of that scheme that's worked, that's gotten them to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's not it's not just even about one guy. It's the cohesive unit that was just entirely messed up on that.
Now, I'm not saying Malcolm Butler could have stopped them from scoring 40, from getting points. I'm just saying he probably would have stopped them from getting 41 points.
Yeah.
He probably would have made a play that would have denied them from getting 38 or 41 points. It was very confusing. And nobody knew. Everybody found out right before the national anthem. Right after the national anthem, that's when Roll found out. That's when the whole team found out. And it just seemed like, I don't know if you saw that clip of him and he's crying, and I'm just like, listen,
rightfully so.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he got. I don't know if we could say we really screwed him this year, but he was due for a big contract. I think he played for like what, $300,000. The guy's going to be a big free agent.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's going to go on and make his paycheck. But it seemed like I think that he said it right. The Patriots just gave up on him.
They did. That's the only explanation. If you're putting in two guys who barely played the entire season and you're going to throw them in the biggest game. That makes no sense. And Stephon Gilmore, he had a pretty good game. All the criticism we've had of him this entire season, he played his heart. He shut down Alshon Jeffrey. What I don't understand is why wasn't he on Alshon Jeffrey the entire game?
Like I said, he should have been.
You said that on the previous show. You said that. Put him on him the whole game. He could have prevented that first touchdown. That was after that touchdown. We never heard from him again for the rest of the game. Yeah. The guys that were making plays was Nelson Aguilar, Clemens, and Torrey Smith had some plays here, but it was really Nelson Aguilar who really was killing the Patriots the entire game.
Who would have matched up perfectly with Butler?
Because Aguilar, if you get physical with him, he'll wilt under pressure. But he was just running free throughout the secondary. He had 9 receptions, 84 yards, 11 targets.
Yeah, I mean, Gilmore was the only good defensive player that I can speak to.
Definitely.
And he has been over the course of probably the last 8 weeks, I would say. He's earned his contract in my book. It took him a little bit of time to get adjusted to the Patriots system. Yeah. But once he did, he became a shutdown cornerback for at least a few games. I mean, Alshon Jeffrey is a legit wide receiver.
And he was held to 3 catches. 8 targets, 3 catches.
And he wasn't even covering him on one of the catches.
So, and another thing that bothers me is the Patriots' safeties. Devin McCourty, he's a good safety. Patrick Chung is a good tackling safety. They cannot cover man-to-man to save their lives. I've seen it since they've been in New England. They cannot cover to save their lives. They're good on helping, and they're good on helping others in coverage, and they're good in the run game and with tackling in the run game. But if you put them one-to-one, man-to-man, they're gonna get beat. And Zach Ertz beat them. You slip. You're in the goal line. This is like the biggest play of the game, biggest moment, and you slip, and then
No, I know. It was a very tough game to watch from a Patriots fan standpoint. When you saw this defense give up yardage throughout the season. We knew that was going to happen, but we would never, ever expect Nick Foles and the Eagles to put up 41 points. The yardage isn't surprising because that's what we've done, but we just could not keep them out of the end zone. 41 points for backup quarterback.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeez.
That is terrible. That's terrible. It's 41 points, 10 for 16 on 3rd downs, 2 for 2 on 4th downs, and it's like as many times as Brady has saved the Patriots, just, the Super Bowl against Seattle, the defense saved them.
Mm-hmm.
That was the last time the defense saved the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
All the other previous Super Bowls, Brady has had to save them. Whenever it's time for the defense to make a play in a big game in the Super Bowl, the only time that's happened has been the Seattle game, maybe Philadelphia, the first time they played when Rodney Harrison picked it off.
Mm-hmm.
That when they usually put top 10 defenses out all the time, the Patriots. But the past couple of Super Bowls against the Giants the first time, all they needed was one stop.
Mm-hmm.
They would have had a perfect season. Defense let them down. Against the Giants the second time, they were ahead. Defense let them down again. They had to pretty much let them score so they could try to have some time to get in position to hopefully get a game-winning touchdown. And last year, the defense saved them. They started making stops, but Brady got them out of that hole. Brady started putting up points. So it's.
He did have that opportunity at the end.
He did.
I was so confident going into that.
Me too.
Because it was one of those games where the team with possession last will win the game. Plenty of time on the clock.
Yeah.
What was it? I think they took over 2 minutes and 30
there was like
seconds.
2 minutes something.
They had one timeout left.
Yeah, the 2-minute warning too, so that's like
Brady.
2 timeouts.
Yeah, exactly. Had the 2-minute warning. Plenty of time, and then it's just.
And it was everything. All the
sack.
concerns from early in the season just came back to bite him. Early in the season, what was the problem? The offensive line protecting Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The entire game, they were protecting him. And then it comes the biggest time, the biggest moment, the biggest drive. They just have a brain fart.
Mm-hmm.
The guy whiffs on a block and
Brady
he can't hold on to it, fumble, and there's your ball game. So it's.
I was expecting that. See, that would have been a play that I would have expected to happen to Nick Foles.
Yeah,
the Eagles.
and
was he playing that play?
Yeah,
we can.
That play, was.
And that his pose says it all right
that
there.
was pretty much. He knew he screwed up, but I just want that play call too. I didn't like the play call. I didn't like the play call at all.
You said they
I
could have ran.
didn't like that play call. It was 2nd and 2. You have the 2-minute warning coming up, and you have been moving. You guys, when you ran the ball, you have been getting yardage on there. The team averaged 5 yards a carry per yard. James White 6, Rex Burkhead 6, Deion Lewis 4.
Burkhead had a big game.
Yeah, so I think they should have ran it on that play. Run the ball. You probably would have got the first down to the 2-minute warning, and then get back into business, but
because we can score fast.
Yeah,
you know what? You don't want to leave too much time on the clock.
Yeah,
you know
at the rate they were going. So this was also one of the things that another thing that I was concerned about the Patriots against Jacksonville. Maybe they'd get a little too happy and too pass happy. So that last drive they didn't mix it up. They should have 2nd and 2. I'm always when it's like a 2nd and short, 3rd and short, you run the ball. Or at least try to confuse them, do a play action. But I think they should have ran it. They were having success. Get the first down and just go to the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I don't disagree on that. But then even after that, I still felt like we had a chance. When they kicked the field goal and it was an 8-point game, you still felt like, this is the New England Patriots. They can come back and they can score. But then they do that stupid little toss on the kick. What was that? Do you think that was called by the special teams, or was that just
probably
those two guys?
I think it was called.
I think it's probably Lewis and Burkhead thinking, let's get cute here.
The way they've coached this entire game.
Well, that's true. It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me. And then you have field goals. You can't make extra points and missing field goals. This was like a disaster. This was all a recipe for disaster. You could kind of like foreshadow. I foreshadowed it after Cooks tried to hurdle the guy. I was like, all right, they're gonna lose this game.
Going down.
That was he. If you look at that play too, he had real estate. He could. You don't know how to make a juke move.
Put your shoulder down. Come on, something.
Or something like that. Make an attempt, but oh my goodness.
I'm getting even more depressed.
Yeah, we'll get back to the Patriots later, but let's talk about the Eagles. We could go back to the Patriots later, but let's talk about the Eagles. I talked about it. We talked about it. They've been aggressive the entire season, and they stuck to their ways.
They did.
Doug Peterson, he coached common sense. And common sense is when you're coaching against the Patriots, play your game. Don't try to be cute. Don't try to do anything you've never done before. do what got you there.
Well, they got a little cute with the Nick Foles catch.
But they've been doing things like that the entire season. I think they did a play like that earlier in the season to Carson Wentz, where they threw him a pass out of the backfield when he was the receiver. So they've been like this the entire season. They've been aggressive. They're not scared, and they did what Jacksonville couldn't do. The Patriots scored. There's a minute and some change left up until halftime. Well, what did they do? March right down the field, get a touchdown.
Kept the pressure on.
Kept the pressure on.
Don't go into a defensive shell.
Yeah, brought it to 10. Kept the lead to 10. And the Patriots were pretty much playing catch up the whole game. That exuberates a lot of energy. So give the Eagles and Nick Foles credit. They played perfect football. Nick Foles. Look at his passer rating.
I'm gonna give him all the credit. 106. Brady's passer rating was still better, but still. I mean,
106.1, 88.6. He had that interception. The one time the Patriots did make a play, that was about it. That was the only thing that was the only mistake he had. I mean, it wasn't even his fault. The receiver, it just got ripped out the receiver's hand, and it,
And he was making perfectly placed throws. I mean, the throw to Clements, the back of the end zone, that's not an easy throw to make. He led him perfectly. There were 3 guys there, too, which we should have had
the safety. Once again, the safety was supposed to be deep. He decided he's going to cheat up a little bit, and so Nick Foles definitely made some big plays in that game. But look at these numbers from their wide receivers. Corey Clement, 5 targets, 100 yards, 4 catches, and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he's the running back.
Nelson Aguilar, 9 receptions, 84 yards. Zach Ertz, 67 yards. So these guys were making plays when it counted, and it's
because they controlled the line of scrimmage, too. They really did. They controlled the line of scrimmage. Nick Foles, like you said, he could have been baking cakes, brownies, cookies, all the time in the world. And when you're with a guy like that who hasn't had a lot of reps with the team, who's on the biggest stage he's ever been in on his life, you got to come in and you got to rock him. But we didn't. And he didn't get shook.
No,
he didn't lay an egg like I thought he would, like a lot of other people thought that he would. He was poised. The game wasn't too big for him. And I got to give him credit. He looked like a paycheck.
He looked like the guy that's been there 8 times.
He did look like that.
So it was, he's getting the bank thrown at him this offseason. They are going to throw a whole lot of money at him this offseason.
Yeah,
so.
and he deserves it. All right, so we got like 5 minutes left. Let's talk about where do we go from here. There's rumors of Gronk retiring, Bill Belichick not coming back. You got the whole Brady-Belichick supposed infighting, the Alex Guerrero. Where do the Patriots go from here?
I don't know, but it seems like to me that this entire season for the Patriots, there have been some turmoil inside their locker room. Yep. It seems like there's been some turmoil inside that locker room. They masked it very well, but it seems like there's some tension. There's been some tensions in there this entire season. Glad they got through it, but I don't know. The whole Malcolm Butler benching, I think it's, I hate to say it, but it looks like
Could this be the end of it?
It looks like the evil empire is crumbling. That's what it looks like.
Let's not call us the evil empire.
Well, I'm speaking from outside as people look at the Patriots, they're the evil empire, and it feels like it's crumbling, especially when you have it seems like there's friction between the owner, the coach, the quarterback. And the trading of Jimmy Garoppolo. I think that rubbed a lot of players the wrong way because Jimmy Garoppolo was a lot of his teammates loved him.
Seems like it rubbed the coach the wrong way.
It rubbed him the wrong way too. Now this whole Malcolm Butler thing, Gronk he's considering retiring, and I don't blame him.
If I was Gronk, I would retire.
I don't blame him. He got 2 rings.
The guy's had so many injuries: head, knees, forearms, back. I mean, if he plays another 4 years, he might be one of those guys that is just in chronic pain going through surgeries for his life. And he'd go on and they'd hire him immediately on Fox or CBS to be one of the pregame guys.
And Gronk is probably, because, hey, if he retired today, he'd probably be considered the greatest tight end ever. Yeah. Or one of.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at probably the amount of games he's played,
in a short amount
it's probably so much fewer than most of the other tight ends.
Like the Gale Sayers effect. Sayers, Terrell Davis.
Yep.
So this is, oh my goodness, this is going to be a very, very interesting offseason. So the Patriots, do you think the Lions are kind of regretting this Matt Patricia thing?
No, the Lions, no. The Lions need a new coach. No, Matt Patricia is going to have success.
I'm-
And I think Josh McDaniels will go and he'll have success in Indianapolis.
Well, he has a quarterback, so that
He's got a
always
quarterback, too.
that always
Well,
helps.
you got Matthew Stafford. You got Matthew, he's the highest paid. Okay, that's saying something.
Matthew
right.
Stafford is terrible.
Right.
Let's
I
just
wouldn't
leave
say
it.
he's terrible.
Matthew Stafford can't beat good teams. He can beat bad teams, but he can't beat good teams.
Well, all you need to do is, beat enough bad teams and maybe you can get into the playoffs somehow.
The guy's been in the NFL for almost 10 years, 0 playoff wins, and he's just, he is what he is. So
All right, we're getting off the books.
He's Foles gold, but
One guess. We got 2 minutes left. Just give me a guess. Where does Foles go?
Foles, Jacksonville, Arizona, one of those teams going to throw some money at him, or
I think
maybe
you're right.
or throw Denver in there too in the mix.
I think Denver's
But-
going to be. Looks like Denver's going to be Cousins, but you never know. Who would you rather have, Cousins or Foles?
At this point, I'd rather have Foles.
At this point, I'd rather have Foles too. He's been to the Pro Bowl. He's won a Super Bowl. He's played in a big game. They were saying Kirk Cousins might be the highest paid guy ever. Hey, could be Foles. You never know.
Yeah. So this.
All right.
This is like Black Monday or something.
It really
right
is. It's
there.
bad. Why don't you take us to the outro so we can go back and cry in the storage closet?
Yeah.
Most all morning.
Thank you for watching our sports special after the whistle. As you can see, I'm dressed in funeral attire.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, Super Bowl was very depressing for a lot of people, but hey, there's always next year, and we got the Celtics. They
And
will
the Bruins.
be.
And the Bruins.
The Celtics and Bruins will make the championship games in their sport and win it all.
There you go.
You heard it here from me.
Power positivity.